All right, what's going on, DC? This is Wags, and with me we've got Twin and our faithful leader, Divine.
Hello.
All right, so today, there's a lot of different things that we can talk about with Amazon, but seems like a lot of questions are coming around. How do we get ungated? What's EEDistribution? How do we open an account? So we figured we'd talk about that, and then also, as a lot of you are starting to get product in and starting to get to the stage of being able to ship products out, Twin is also going to touch on shipping as well. So we'll go ahead and kick off this call with those two subjects, and then if there's any time left before the top of the hour, we'll go ahead and open it up for Q&A on really anything Amazon related. Twin, can you just monitor the chat?
Yeah, for sure.
First, however long. All right, cool. What's going on, Andre? All right, so Entertainment Earth Distribution is a toy distributor retailer that is used by many Amazon sellers and eBay sellers. Amazon sellers more so to get ungated or approved in certain brands. So they've got a ton of different brands that you have the ability to get approved in. As you can see, there's probably, I don't know, over 1,000 brands in here. So goal today is to show you how to get approved in Barbie, since kind of Barbie is the flavor of the week with that Dia de los Muertos Barbie. And even though they're selling right now on eBay for between $140 to $150 or $60, chances are with Amazon, as we know with a lot of our other products that we sell, Amazon will probably be selling it at a higher price. Or, I'm sorry, not Amazon, but sellers will be selling it at a higher price on Amazon. So, for those of you that got Barbie, we're going to show you today how to get ungated in Barbie. What I'm going to show you is really applicable to any brand for ungating with Entertainment Earth, and oftentimes with really any other distributor that you're going to use to get ungated in a particular brand. But just to quickly, before we get started on that, just to quickly go over, like, how do you find distributors? I mean, someone asked in chat today about Dyson vacuum. If you need to find a distributor, just Google it, right? Go into Google, type in Dyson vacuum, and the wholesale distributor game is a numbers game. So we're lucky with Entertainment Earth not needing, we don't need like a warehouse or a physical store or our own website for them to allow us to open an account with them. Some other distributors do require that. So some distributors or manufacturers don't want to sell to people who are always selling on eBay and Amazon. So it's a numbers game in terms of contacting them, reaching out to them, applying, right? And there may not just be one distributor. There might be like a bunch of for those particular brands. So just keep trying with all the different distributors. Someone's drinking a fucking Slurpee.
Dude, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
What was that, man?
That was a crazy Slurpee. All right. So, how do I get ungated in Barbies, or really in anything? So this is my process, right? So what I'll do first is I'll come on to EEDistribution and I'll go ahead and search for Barbie in my products. So once I've brought up all of the different Barbies, I actually like to, well, I'll get to that in a second. The next thing I'll do is I'll filter by the cheapest items first. Okay. So now I see here all of the cheapest items that are under Barbie that will get me approved to sell Barbie. What I typically like doing is buying stuff that's temporarily out of stock or that's coming like way in the future. The reason for this is because Entertainment Earth won't charge you until they actually ship that item. And there's a chance that this, like, let's say this may never come back in stock, right? So if it doesn't ever come back in stock, I'm never going to get charged for these items. But I'm still going to be able to get an invoice. All right, so what do I do next? I found the cheapest thing in Barbie that's going to get me approved. I'm actually going to go ahead and jump into this listing. And I am
Can't you just, sorry to cut you off, can't you just go find a pre-order item and order like 10 of those so you don't get charged up front, and then submit that PO to Amazon and then cancel your order?
Well, you can't cancel. You're gonna get charged a fee by canceling your order.
How much is the fee?
Entertainment Earth is you're able to. I know that you're able to cancel an order, a pre-order, by buying double the amount in stock, worth of in-stock products. I've been
it's
able.
not just like a $10 fee that you pay.
Yeah, I think it's more than. I don't know what the exact things are. I mean, it's best to ask your account rep.
I don't mean to cut it. It's a pretty a decent amount that they will charge you up front, but they will definitely red flag your account. I've been red flagged twice, so if I have one more, I'm done with EE.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sorry about jumping in there.
Okay, cool. No, perfect. Thanks, Andre. All right, so what I do next is once I got my listing here, I'll grab the UPC.
You like Juju? Huh?
And then,
like Allen Robinson?
All right, I just muted everybody. So if you want to talk, ask a question, you got to unmute yourself. Unmute the host here. Okay. So I grab the UPC, right? I'll come into Amazon. And then I'll just quickly search for that UPC. Just in case, I want to be able to sell it on Amazon, right? It was here. All right, so since I can't find it by UPC, let's go ahead and grab this name. All right, so it's not on here. So.
Nope, I think you passed it. Go. Keep going up. There it is.
Oh, there it is. No, this is the.
Isn't that the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we got it here. What I like to do is drill into this and then actually try and request approval to make sure that it is the same brand that I am actually trying to get approved. Okay, so this is showing Barbie branded. So that should be fine. Because sometimes what happens is you'll get products that might be like, I don't know, let's say like Nintendo, but then when you go into Amazon, it's not actually ungating you for the Nintendo brand because it's like they're licensing out their characters. So that's how you just double check to make sure that you are in fact getting an invoice for that brand that you want to get ungated for. Okay. And then from there, go ahead and add it to your cart. 10 items is the minimum that you need on your invoice. And then from there, you can go ahead and check out and then print out your invoice from Entertainment Earth. So let me stop there. I'm going to open up and unmute everybody. Does anyone have any questions?
No, not me.
No? I'm sorry, everyone is not unmuted. So if you have a question, you need to unmute yourself. Oh, all right. Twin, Andre, anything else you want to add?
Hey, not necessarily, but I think that's the point you made about finding that SKU and make sure you indicate it in. the entire line is very important because that's happened to me a few times where I thought I was going a cheap route to get ungated in. I forgot what brand it was, but it was only unlobbied Nike. I thought I was good with Nike, and all of a sudden, I listed it. I sent the shoes in, and I got kicked back. So just make sure that you got the right SKU to get you open in the entire line.
And then certain items can ungate you in multiple categories.
Yeah.
Saul, do you know of one by chance that we can look up?
Yeah, I mean, if you just do like Star Wars character Funko. Now, even though when you look up the item in Amazon to ask for approval, it's going to just say Funko or just say Star Wars, most likely say Funko, you can still submit that invoice. When you go in to request approval for a brand, even though you're going under a specific ASIN or UPC, it's not attached to that one. So it's really just requesting approval for the whole brand. It's irregardless of how you got there. So as long as you can prove that the item on your invoice is part of that brand, it'll work.
Yeah, so great point. And then just so you know, like that Barbie, $21 to get ungated or $22 to get ungated. And you probably won't get charged for a couple months for that. So you can easily make that up for finding all your Barbies. Because Barbies
to your point, AJ, I mean, I've bought multiple items that were back ordered and then ultimately canceled. So it's like free invoices.
Exactly. Yeah, and then so when you're placing your first order, I think you're getting like 5% off as a new customer. Try and hit all the brands if you can afford it. Hasbro, Mattel, Funko, Lego, Star Wars, DC, Barbie, on and on. I mean, those are some of the big money makers, especially as we come up to Q4. So Spazio has a question. Can you do this with wine? I don't know if you could sell wine. Wine is not sold by EEDistribution, so you'd have to go and find a wine distributor. And then I don't know what the age restrictions are with that, or if they even sell wine on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some laws regarding that. I'm not sure because oftentimes you can't ship alcohol across state lines.
Right. Cool. Any more questions there, or any other points that you guys want to add?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're ordering from E and you want to ship it straight to Amazon, is there anything that you need to provide EEDistribution, or how would you go about doing that?
Yeah, so they send you instructions. You have to print out the shipping label for them, and send a PDF version to them. And then they have like a spreadsheet that you need to fill out.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll send you instructions on what you need to do. Someone's looking distributor. Yeah, so toothpaste distributor, just Google. You can find one. I think I have a distributor for that. Andre, what was the name of the one that you asked me about the other day? Buy Bulk America, I think, .com.
Yeah, there's one I had to look it up. There's definitely one for specific health brands like toothpaste and deodorant.
Yeah, this is another easy company to get approved with. I haven't used them for ungating, but health and beauty. What do they got here? They got all sorts of stuff here. By the way, don't sleep on like Walgreens, like hair supply. Like, what was that? We found like hair wax, right? That was making like
Redken. Yeah, it was like a 250% ROI. Everyone, even Walgreens brand items, store brand items, are still on Amazon. So if you go and search like specific, even just go on Amazon right now and click search and type in Walgreens, almost all of their generic branded stuff is up there.
365, Whole Foods brand.
Yep.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys are going to do health or food, please make sure you guys have your insurance policy.
Very fair point. Yeah, and that's going to be something that we're going to get into as we move forward. That's why I don't often. You have not yet brought up the idea of vitamins or supplements.
Yeah.
Super lucrative area, but we want to make sure that you're safe and the customer's safe.
Right. All right. So 2 questions. Spazio, do you think it's worth it if I can only put an average of an hour and a half per day into this? Yeah, absolutely. I probably put like, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours a week into this, if that. Not lately. I haven't been doing that, but when Q4 comes around rolling, probably going to do that. So, you don't need that much time to do it.
Yeah, I do about 4 hours a week, 4 to 5 hours a week.
Yeah, it's all about just the heavy lift is getting started. That's it. Once you get going and figure out how to fit everything into your schedule, you'll find that you're not really spending too much time at all with this. Manual with Bulk by America. Yeah, so Bulk by America, again, I haven't really used them. I do have an account with them, but I've never bought anything from them. What's pretty cool, too, is they send you a spreadsheet in your email with like some of their best products or something like that. And if you have the upgraded version of Tactical Arbitrage to do wholesale, you can just load that right into Tactical Arbitrage and it'll filter out everything for you. But yeah, you still need at least 10 items in a SKU. Oh, sorry, 10 items of a single SKU on your invoice to get approved. Is it possible to return items to these bulk sellers? No, these are wholesale accounts. You're not buying at retail, so you can't return it to them. All right.
Oh, and can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
$300 minimum order.
What was that?
$300 minimum order.
For Bulk by America?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, and those are the things that you're going to find out when you talk to your distributors, especially new ones that maybe you want to open accounts with. Some of those questions that you want to ask are, what are your minimum orders? What are your sales requirements? Again, luckily with Entertainment Earth, they don't have any minimum order requirements. I think it's something like $2,000 for the entire year or something like that, but I don't know. For me, I don't have any problem hitting that. So, I'm sorry. So yeah, 10 items, 10 units of the same item, the same SKU has to be on the invoice. Minimum. All right. Any more questions there? Cool. Let's go ahead and switch topics. We'll go ahead and jump over to Twin. Twin,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing. You can grab that.
All righty. All right. You guys see what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So these pictures you've seen already. These are the same ones that were in the hashtag shipping channel within Discord. We got a lot of questions about them, and some of them really can use a voice behind them as well. A lot of you are at the place where shipping is becoming part of kind of your day-to-day, which is awesome. So I want to make sure that you feel that you have the tools at hand to get those products that you just bought and you're really excited about actually to Amazon. So what we're going to go over today is how to ship through the Amazon Seller Central platform. There is another app that we use sometimes called Inventory Labs. I do have a fully formatted Inventory Labs video. I put one out already that you can watch, which explains kind of what Inventory Lab looks like. Walks you through like the basic steps of it, but I have a separate shipping one, which you'll see soon. It is a paid program though. So the first 30 days are free. After that's about $50 a month. You can go through here though, and this is completely free. A little more clunky, a little more less efficient in your time, but a great place to learn. And ultimately kind of how you want to start before you jump into something that you're paying for. So getting things listed to sell is actually pretty straightforward process. Once you go onto your Amazon Seller Central platform, you're going to go to catalog and list new product, and this is the screen, or add product. This is the screen you're going to see. At this point, you're going to type in what I recommend is the UPC of that product. If you have a scan gun, or like a barcode scanner, you can just scan your item as well. Definitely worth the investment. pretty quickly on. It's like $15, $16. And it's going to give you a whole lot of time by looking at numbers and typing them. But you can just scan it into here and hit search. Next is going to bring up the product in question. Obviously, you want to make sure that it looks right. That's the same product you're talking about. And then right underneath, it's going to show you if you can sell it. Now, this is something that ultimately you should be doing before you buy the product. You want to make sure that you can list it and sell it. And AJ just did a great job, or Waj just did a great job of explaining how to get approved if you can't. So if ultimately we couldn't get approved in this, I would go on to Entertainment Earth, I'd look up Ninja Turtles, and I would see if there was something on there that I could get to buy that would get me approved in the brand. But we are ungated in this, so we would just hit sell yours, and that would allow us to jump to the next screen. This is the next screen that you're going to see. This is where you get to choose the price that you want to list your item at. It'll allow you to really just match the lowest price available. But as we know, or as you should know if you watched our Keep It guide, the lowest new price isn't always the buy box price, isn't always the price that really matters to you. Lowest new is just going to be the lowest available, and that is in new condition, but it could be merchant fulfilled, there could be extra shipping fees. It's really your due diligence to go into the product description, product view, and look and see exactly what it's selling for. Because even though the lowest new is $570, it might be selling for $10. So you want to price it competitive, but you don't want to undertake that much. So you're going to type in the price that you want there. This can be adjusted at any time after the fact. So don't feel like you're locked in. What I do recommend is actually overpricing at this point, because what may happen is you'll price it at buy box, and by the time it gets into Amazon, the buy box has gone up, but your product is going to come in cheaper and sell, and you could have left some money on the table. So what I like to do is I like to raise whatever the buy box is currently, and then raise it 20%. So if this was normally $10, I would put in it for $12, and that would give me that wiggle room in case by the time it got locked in, price had shifted up, and I didn't feel like I was losing the extra $2. If it didn't, I can always shift it down on my own. Next, we're going to do fulfillment channel. You're always going to click Amazon will ship and provide customer service if you're going to do FBA. So if you want Amazon to hold your items and ship them for you, the second one is what you're going to choose. If you want to ship it yourself, you're going to choose I will ship this item myself, and pretty self-explanatory there. Hit save and finish. Move on to the next page. So this is what you're going to see now. For this particular item, we didn't have to do anything here. For some items, it's going to give you a choice under barcode type. It's going to say, do you want to label it yourself, or do you want Amazon to label it? I personally have myself do all of them. There is a fee if Amazon does it, and they can screw up. I understand that as you're starting out, you may not have the tools available to you to label. I think it's something that you should definitely look into, because if you have a printer, all you really need to get labeling is to buy 40 up labels. Just labels that fit right into your inkjet printer you already have, and you can print your own labels at home. I think it's 30 cents or 20 cents an item if Amazon does it. And that way you can also make sure that you are doing it correctly. Sometimes you'll also be presented the option of using the manufacturer barcode, which means you're just going to use the UPC that's already on your product. So you're not going to label it. Amazon's not going to label it. It's just going to go into Amazon. It's going to sit in a big pile of that item with that UPC. And the next sale that comes, or whenever your item sells, Amazon's going to walk up to that pile. They're going to pick up an item and they're going to ship it to that customer. The downside of doing this is you have no way of quality controlling your competition. So I may be really meticulous with my items. When I send in my Power Ranger, which was a popular item recently, it might be in perfect condition. I might bubble wrap it. It looks amazing. But if I don't put a label on it and it just sits in that pile, if I sell that Power Ranger, Amazon might grab, let's say Andre's Power Ranger, or someone else's Power Ranger, and maybe they didn't do the same job I did, and it's smashed or it doesn't look good. Now that customer is going to get that product. They're going to think it comes from me, and I'm actually going to get dinged if that customer complains or wants to return it. So the only way to secure that your product that you're touching goes to the customer is to get it labeled, either by yourself or by Amazon. And again, the recommendation is that you do it yourself, and that would be the option right there under barcode type. For this particular one, it doesn't let me. It's only saying that Amazon barcode is acceptable. It's not going to let me use the UPC, but otherwise you might have that choice. Next page is going to be to add any dangerous good information. All you have to do is click that little plus button that says add dangerous goods. It's a clickable product, and it's going to look like this. So this is really just asking you mostly about battery information or regulatory hazmat issues. If your product has no battery, then you're good. You just like no. Product regulation information, again, no. You're not going to be buying things that are going to blow up. If you feel that you are going to send something in that is aerosol or is some kind of chemical component, even nail polish, things of that nature, I would kind of just be aware of what's going on with your product. Oftentimes Amazon won't let you to begin with. So it's very rare that you're going to be able to scan something and say, oh, I'm going to send this in, and it be considered dangerous goods. But if there is anything on the label of the product that says hazmat, dangerous goods, etc., then you'll obviously need to click yes here, and that's going to be a whole nother process. But 99.9% of the time, you're going to click no. Battery information, if you happen to have a battery in your product, just click yes. It's going to ask you some brief questions about your product's battery. It's going to say, what kind of batteries does it take? Are they included? It's really only a big issue if they're included in the product. So even if your product takes batteries, but the packaging says no batteries included, so you'll say yes, but then the next question underneath will say, is it inclement batteries? And you click no, and it's going to solve a lot of your problems there. If it comes with batteries, then you really need to get into what batteries are in there and how many, because Amazon needs to be aware of what they're storing in their warehouses. Number 7, again, next screen. So this is when you get to create your shipping plan. If it's your very first product that day that you want to ship, you're going to create a new shipping plan. There's no other plan to add it to. It's the brand new one. And then we get this question a lot in chat. You're going to do individual products for packing type. Case packed is if it's all the same SKU in the box. Even when I have 50 of one SKU, I still do individual. Case packed is its own kind of beast a little bit. We can get into that, but my recommendation for you is to just get used to clicking individual, even if you have 10, 20, etc. of that product, because then you can kind of mix and match what goes in a box. So one box can hold different SKUs, and that's ultimately what individual means. So create new, and then click individual. Now, if, for example, this was not, let's say we had already done our product or we had the wallet, and then now we were going to send in our Power Ranger. We got to this point, we can click add to existing shipping plan, and then we can go and we can add it to our wallet plan. So we can get all of our items in one plan when we click submit. It's really the only difference is the first item is going to be create new. Any additional one after that is going to be add to existing until you're done with that plan and you're ready to ship all your items off. Next one here. This is going to show the list of all of your products that you had, and then obviously how many you're shipping, what condition they're in, the product name, etc. So this is, I apologize, this is actually where you're going to tell Amazon who preps your product, so who's going to label it, who's going to polybag it, who's going to bubble wrap it. And you're going to click merchant, which is you, if you are going to be doing it. Again, which is what I recommend. If Amazon's going to be doing it, then you just click that little drop down and click Amazon, and they'll take care of labeling it and doing all the prep that's involved. If you scan a product in the store with the Amazon Seller app, if it requires prep, it will tell you in the app. There'll be a little arrow next to the picture. You click on it, it'll say polybag required, bubble wrap required. At the same time, use your best judgment. Even if a product doesn't say that, I want you to feel confident that you're sending a product out to the world that is kind of gift condition, which I like to deem. So if someone's going to open this up and give it as a gift that day, we don't want it to be smashed, don't want it to have like crazy creases or rips. And if it has an opening of any kind or it's a push style, even if it doesn't say polybag it, you're going to want to polybag it. You just want to ensure that it doesn't get damaged in the warehouse, because otherwise you're going to get it returned back to you. You're going to get dinged. It's just not worth your time. Polybags are like 5 cents each. Next step. So once you have all of, you can either do this after individual SKUs or you can do it at the end when all of your products are in there. You're going to print your labels. So this is where the 40 up labels come in handy. At the bottom of the page, there's going to be print labels for this page. There's a little arrow next to it. You get to kind of choose what size labels you're going to use. 40 up is just like the standard. You print labels. So I don't have that as a slide. So you just click print labels, and it's going to pop up in your normal printing format. And you click print, and it's just going to go right to your printer. And then they're each going to be individual. So if you have 20 of these products, it's going to print 20 of those labels. A misconception is that the FNS SKU, which is ultimately what the product label looks like, it's what's going on your product. Number one, it has to cover all the UPCs or barcodes. You cannot, even if there's a product that you have that has 4 barcodes, they all need to be covered. Only one technically needs to be covered with your FNS SKU, but they all need to be covered. I just cover them all with that label. Secondly, the SKU does not change. So if you happen to print your SKU, print your labels and stick them on your product and then wait 4 months to send in your product, or get something happens, those FNS SKUs are actually the same regardless. So you can go back and edit things. You can change shipping plans. You don't have to reprint. The labels don't change based on the shipping plan. They change just based on the SKU. So you stick them on there and you're good regardless of what plan they're going in. After this page, you're going to click continue. And ultimately, it's going to tell you where it wants to ship that product. So that shipping plan to the left, create new, that's our shipping plan. I only added one SKU to this one. So there's one SKU, 20 units, and it's having me ship them all to Florence. It's really actually pretty close to where I live. It's about 40 minutes. It may separate them into multiple places. So you may see one SKU, 10 units to Florence, and then underneath one SKU, 10 units to California, to Pennsylvania, to wherever. You do not have control of where they go. You can pay Amazon for placement services, which means you only want them to go to one place. That is a charge for that. You still don't get to choose what place that is. Personally, I don't. I just let Amazon tell me where they need them to go. And then you have to approve all of them. You can't just approve one and leave the other one unapproved. You have to click yes to all of them. What you can do, though, is if you have, let's say, 19 units going to New Jersey, 1 unit going to California, you can approve all of them and then ship out your 19, leave your one unshipped, and then your next, let's say you're a week later, you're going to do another shipment. If you happen to get that same fulfillment center, so Amazon's like, hey, we want you to send these 10 units to that same California center, you can then consolidate those shipments. So there's going to be an option that pops up on the Seller Central thing. It says, do you want to add to that existing shipment? Click yes, and then you can ship those 11 items together. So if you feel comfortable that you're going to get that shipping option again, you can hold on to it if it's not time sensitive. It's really only if you're going to ship often or you feel like you're really going to get that one again. If not, you ship it out. Even if you lose a little bit of money, you have to ship it within 30 days, or Amazon is going to take notice and it's going to affect some things. Next thing is actually boxing your items. So at this point, you have them all prepped, you have them all stickered, and you know where they're going. You're going to then tell Amazon how they're going to get there. So under how will the shipment be packed, you get to choose between two options: everything in one box or multiple boxes. If you have 20 walnuts, they're pretty easily going to fit in one box. Again, box requirements, you can't have over 50 pounds in a box. I really shoot for like 45 is the most. And then it can't be over 25 inches on one side. Again, I try to shoot for 24. Things can happen in shipment. You want to play it safe. So if everything can fit in one box, that's amazing. Great. Like just put them in one box, click everything in one box, you're done. If not, you have to click multiple boxes, which is fine. You can use as many boxes as you need. You just need to tell Amazon what's in each box. So if our wallets were actually really big and we can only fit 5 in a box, when they were too heavy, then we'd have to obviously choose 4 boxes. We click multiple boxes. On the next page here, we would have 4 of these sections. So obviously for here, I clicked everything in one box. But if you did multiple boxes, there would just be 4 lines. And then you would just individually put the box weight, what was in each box just based on quantity, and then the dimensions. You do need to weigh each box, and you do need to add dimensions. Some people have mentioned that they don't have a scale. Definitely invest in one. I would say if you have a bathroom scale, absolute worst case, stand on it yourself, hold the box, stand on it together, subtract those 2 and add a couple pounds just in case. But at the end of the day, you really want to go get a scale. They're pretty cheap. I've had the same one since I started, and it's been great. So after all this is said and done, you click confirm. And then at the bottom here, you're going to ultimately you're going to hit calculate charges because you're going to ship it UPS. And as you can see here, it weighed 20 pounds. The billable weight is 56 pounds because that's based on dimensions. And it's going to cost me $8.40 to ship. So I'm going to click agree to those terms. You don't have a choice here. If you don't like it, then you're just going to have to restart back from square one and try again. You can't really do anything about it at this point. I do estimate about 50 cents a pound. So at this point, we're looking at about 42 cents a pound, which I think is fair. It's definitely cheaper than you're going to get going by yourself. So hit agree, hit accept charges. At that point, that number 5 where it says shipping labels, that's going to light up yellow. Click print box labels. You're going to print 2 labels. You're going to print one that's for UPS. So that's how they're going to scan it and get to the destination. Second one is for Amazon. That's how they know what's in the box. You're going to tape them to your box. Try not to cover the barcodes if you're going to use paper. Otherwise, obviously, if you're going to use a thermal printer, it's great. Just stick them as a sticker. I usually stick them on the opposite sides of the middle line. So if you're closing the box and you sealed it, just put them on either side of the gap or where the box opens. and then take them to UPS and drop them off. And then there you go. It can take anywhere from 48 hours to like 2.5 weeks for them to get to Amazon. I will say I average closer to like 3 to 4 days at most. Lately, it's actually been really quick. I've had things checked in within 24 hours and selling. Lately, it's also going to depend where you're sending it. I'm sending this one, again, 30, 40 minutes away. If I send it to Cali, which is across the country, it might take 4 or 5 days to get there, and then another 4 or 5 days to get checked in. But you can watch that process the whole time through your Seller Central account. So that was a lot. Are there any questions about that verbally? I didn't get the opportunity to look at the chat while I was talking.
Yeah, so Goff has a question. What are our thoughts on hedging your pricing by having some of your product at a higher price and having additional inventory of the same product at a higher price?
All right. A good question that unfortunately not something you can do within terms. So the only way you could possibly do that is if you have one that's fulfilled by Amazon and one that is merchant fulfilled. That's the only TOS way that you're allowed to have yourself on the same listing twice. Otherwise, if you're only FBA, everything's going to be under the same price on the same listing.
But to add to that, I like to actually, sometimes I'll sell stuff at a lower price, and then once X amount of units sell, then I'll move it up to a higher price. So
yeah, everyone's gonna have different models, 100%. Yeah, I mean,
whatever. You can do that.
Yeah, whatever works for your business model is really what you want to do. There's millions of ways to do this and make a profit. It really just depends, obviously, how much capital you have, how long you're willing to sit on it, that kind of thing. Are there any other questions
regarding the label? So you said that if there's 4 SKUs on the product, they all need to be covered.
If the manufacturer barcode or any kind of barcode is on a product, all barcodes need to be covered.
Okay. But only one of them needs to be covered with the actual label. The other ones you can just cover with anything?
I mean, you still want to cover them with so sometimes I'll do is I'll just put a blank label on there. So like if I'm going to use a 40 up label anyway, if I have one that's printed with my specific one, I might use a blank one just to cover others. They do need to be covered in like a professional looking way. Again, the goal is to try to get them to the customer in like I call it like a gift giving format, like a way that you could present it as a gift.
Right. Okay.
You don't need to put a bow on it and anything, but you want it to look good.
Yeah, 100%.
What else we got? Yeah. So yeah, you can. If you'll notice some fishy stuff on Amazon when it comes to pricing and things of that nature. You can definitely send reports to Amazon and have them look into it. Another time you might see the same person on the same listing is if there's different conditions. So that's technically fair too. If I have 2 books and one's in very good and one's in good, technically I can have them both on the listing at different prices because they're in different conditions. But if it's the same condition, the only way that you should see that person twice is if one is FBA and one is merchant fulfilled. And that is rare. I don't see that too often. Anything else? We can talk about shipping now. We can talk about non-shipping related questions, but I know that shipping has been a category that a lot of people have kind of got to the point of and then got a little stuck. So I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable once they get product, they can get it in.
Yeah, so when I was sending my first shipment in, I just kind of went with the flow in terms of like which warehouses I have to send my products to. Like there was 8 products and I had to send them to 5 different warehouses.
Okay.
So in terms of paying Amazon to have them ship all like fewer warehouses or even one warehouse, what would that process entail? Like, how do you do that? It's
a setting, and I don't know if Wags or Andre have more experience. It's a setting with Amazon that's just it's called priority placement. I think it's like placement services. You just pay per SKU. I personally have never used it, so I don't know if those two have, and they can speak on it more. But I know it just gets it into one warehouse, but you still don't get to choose that warehouse.
Right. Okay.
Anything else, fellas? Or ladies as well? Since there's no questions, I fully expect a lot of shipments.
Anything about Amazon at all? Any questions about Amazon? Opening up to like anything about Amazon.
I think people are dead, bro.
They're all muted.
No, it's all good. I mean, like we've said before, it'll take time.
How hard is this to do from a college dorm?
Yeah, right.
I know people do it from a beach. Or do it from they travel in an RV and do it.
Yeah, I would say the hardest thing from a college dorm would just make sure that you can receive shipments. Figure
Yep.
out, talk to whoever you need to talk to make sure that if you're going to do this online at least, and you get packages that they get handled correctly. Other than that, I think you'd be fine.
Cool.
All right. I mean, I think people are maybe just itching to get the football. I don't know.
Hold on. We got a question. Starting out, because we aren't sourcing as much and don't have many products, you suggest lowering prices for buy box.
I mean, you always want to be competitive. Sorry, Reds. You definitely always want to be competitive to buy box.
Yeah, I agree. I would, your product's not going to sell if you're not anywhere close to that buy box.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is I love a lot of you because you definitely have the ability to use critical skills and critical thinking. Don't just look at the buy box and assume that is the buy box forever. Study Keepa and understand what the average price is for that product. Everything tends to regress to a mean. So just because the buy box is $45 today, but 364 other days it's 20. Maybe it's not going to stay 45 forever. Or it's 15 today and normally it's 30. You might want to price it higher because you'll be able to get more money out of it.
Is that what you were talking about when you said when you made that or used that example of like the $10 and then you want to raise it 20% up to $12? Or was that
Yeah, I mean, I always raise it because I never know what's going to happen in the marketplace, and that's only when I'm sending it in before it gets actually because I'm not awake. Let's say at 1 a.m. when it gets checked in, and it gets for sale, and I want to make sure that if it does sell at 1 a.m., then I'm getting top dollar, and then in the morning I can always I'll go in and I'll readjust. I'll check to see what it is. Personally, I use a repricer now, but for months I would manually go in and I would check each price.
Hey, I got a question. It's Roach. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I know what to. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Roach, speaking. So, this is a question regarding to like a repricer, pertaining to the buy box price being changed. So, I'm assuming you guys use repricing software.
Yeah, I currently do. I didn't for I don't know 7-8 months at least. But right now I actively use repricing.
Okay.
I don't use it. It's really up to you.
You don't use it. Oh, okay. I mean, it makes it easier though, right? I'm assuming, right?
It does.
When the price changes, boom, it just does automatically. Right?
It does. It also depends how many SKUs you have. And how much time you have. If you're riding down 20, 30 SKUs, I mean, it really doesn't take that long to check. I usually sit about 250.
Oh shit! Did you see their Yeezys?
And so
They're fire. What the fuck? Those are dope.
Yeah. Dope.
I hate sneaker Twitter, bro.
So what's a good? I'm assuming. I mean, what's a good like replacer program?
I mean, we can definitely get into that. There's a lot to choose from. Amazon actually has a built-in one that's free, so you could try that one as well. It doesn't reprice up; it just reprices down, I think. Although they have recently added some things to make it work better. But we can definitely go into that because that's a whole other topic, to be very honest. There's a lot of options in the market.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's it. That's all question I have right now. Cool.
So there's a couple in the chat. Can you talk a little bit more about how to send different items to Amazon? Do you have any specific examples of that? I mean, every item is going to be a little different. Most items are kind of fall into the one category of it's a box or rectangle of some kind, and you're gonna slap your sticker on it and you're gonna send it in. Other ones obviously are more fragile. You're just gonna make sure that they get in one piece. If you go through what Amazon has as far as their expectations for products, they do a drop test. It's 3 feet. They drop it onto like a metal surface from 3 feet. So if you feel comfortable that your products can survive that drop and not get damaged anyway, then I think you'll be okay. Can you speak on Keepa? Manuel, we do have a Keepa guide out. It's about 13 minutes. It's pretty intense. We can definitely go into more detail, but we can, if we have specific questions on that, we can definitely go into more detail on it. But that one covers a lot if you haven't seen it yet already. Things we should be polybagging. Again, I polybag anything that make it dirty or ripped when it's in transit. Things do get banged up when they're going down the chute at Amazon. Everything, they do chaotic organization system, so everything comes in together. They don't place, toys to toys or food to food. Everything goes down the same line at the same speed, and then gets put on the shelf next to random things. So if it has any opportunity to get caught or snagged on anything, it has any kind of opening in the plastic or even an odd shape where something could get hooked in and then rip it open, I'm probably going to polybag just to protect it. I would polybag certain books, obviously things that can open up. I do polybag my books just to make sure they don't get opened up and ripped. I did recommend polybagging video games just because they do have that thin layer of plastic on them, and those get ripped up really easily. And I've had customers that, even though the video game is new, the thing is ripped open, they consider it used, and they want a refund at that point. So polybags are super cheap. I think I buy 400 for like $20. So when in doubt, polybag.
You said you can get 400 for like $20?
Yeah, I buy it's like I think it's I don't know what the one that Wags put in our guide is, which do, and they're all about the same price, but I just buy one that has 4 different sizes of polybag.
That's what I did.
And then there's a 5th size that's like really big. I actually didn't need it until I started selling book bags. I don't know, AJ, if you remember those book bags from last year. Because I wanted to polybag book bags, but the ones that you get in like the 4 sizes aren't big enough. So I got like a 2 foot by 3 foot one. And I use that for backpacks, and I use that for like really big toys. Like those talking animal plush toys. Those go in the polybags.
Yeah. No, I forgot to polybag my what was that like pet dinosaur that we were selling? That black one? It wasn't a dinosaur. What was it?
Oh, you didn't polybag that? Yeah.
No, you know what I'm talking about though, right?
I do. Yeah, from GameStop. Yeah, those are great. Ryan, if I didn't play Ryan, I've never polybagged my Power Rangers.
Those actually sat for like a week, and I was like, oh man, like they're probably not gonna sell until like Q4 comes in, like November, December at least. And then like the other day, not even the other day, but a few days after that, like both of them sold within like 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, I think we paid like $13 or $15 for them, and I sold 6 around $50 each. Those were really good.
Yeah. That was good. A good item.
AJ, do you want to talk on electronics? I don't know how often you do electronics, but I know you did some like PS4s or like some other things.
I sell as new. I want the buy box. I take the risk of warranty, but basically, if you're selling electronics, typically you should sell as like new, because as a third party reseller, it's not going to have the manufacturer warranty that comes along with that. So just keep that in mind. But when I sell electronics, for me personally, I sell them as new.
Yeah, everyone has different risk tolerance. But I would say just, if it's anything over $100, I'm probably doing used. But even if you just look at the prices, a lot of times I'll sell used like new, even obviously it's brand new, but just to protect me for like $10 less than new. The price usually isn't crazy different. But to Wag's point, you won't get the buy box then. Anything else? We're obviously in chat often. You can always open a ticket with us. You can always just shoot us a message in chat. We try to be as interactive as possible. We do have some other things coming out, some other guides. Like Wags' guides are fantastic. I know he has some in the works, and I have some as well. And so that should answer some kind of next step questions. But really the goal, and to be very, very, very honest, I think we'd be very transparent. I think me, Wags, and even Divine can say, like, you guys are moving at a speed we didn't expect. So it's really, really awesome. We didn't think, we're only, 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks in. We did not expect people to be sending product and getting sales at this point. So you guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. No, I remember when we did our first initial launch announcements. I remember, I think it was me who typed it up, or I'm pretty sure it was Wags who typed it up.
Yeah, it was Wags.
Yeah, that we shouldn't expect to, see any sales within the first 3 months. And now we're a month and a half in, and we have a few. I mean, there's a couple people that got a couple $100 in sales. It really makes me excited to see where everybody will be at the end of December, going into the new year after Q4.
Yeah, no, it's really, really cool. And don't forget, I mean, when we talk about Q4, you could sell crazy numbers all year round, and Q4 doesn't end in December. It does not end at Christmas. Some of your best sales will happen in January, even into February, as we get those gift cards and we get all those people that are spending their Christmas money.
Right, 100%.
So we got plenty of time.
Nah, definitely want to say, prior to you guys providing the service on DC for the Amazon, I was dabbling on YouTube, and I was dabbling on other courses. You just go to Google and you're just curious, you just typed in Amazon millionaire or something like that, right? And there's just a bunch of rubbish on there. So when you guys came through and provided a service, I learned a lot in about a week or two. And of course, it's all about you and the individual to take the time to read the guides and all that, right? Yeah. But it's refreshing knowing that someone that has knowledge and success has been successful with the actual Amazon marketplace, and for you guys to share the information, man, it's golden. So I highly do appreciate you guys taking the time to share that with us. You know what I mean? So salute to all y'all, to both of you, Biggs and Wags and Twin, even Devin too. But thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. I appreciate hearing that.
That was good. It sounded like an Obama speech, right? I know.
Can we get that recorded and put it in front of our videos?
Yeah.
No, that's
to that point too, we do have some other Amazon sellers that are in the group that have been, kind of doing a great job and chipping in here and there. So, Andre, thanks for everything that you chip in for wholesale stuff and stuff like that. So, all appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have a question too. My bad. I think I was watching the first live video. It's about the bot. I think I talked to Twin about this. It's Roach speaking again. Roach. I guess when you want to hot top it in those actual websites that have, and you want to get more than 4 pieces, you guys recommend the bottom or something, right?
It's definitely not necessary. I'm very new to the world. Botting is great, but for those places like Hot Topic and stuff like that, you don't need one at launch. They don't move that quickly.
Gotcha.
It's not like sneakers or things of that nature. Just really just allows you to get more quantity faster. But it's for those particular ones you mentioned, at least, definitely not required or not needed to be very successful. The Hot Topic and Box Lunch have their own rules, and that's a whole other guide, to be very honest, because they really care about bulk buyers. They're really temperamental about purchase quantities and stuff like that. So it's not just a matter of being quick. It's really a matter of understanding their rules and kind of how to get around them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we can definitely talk on that because
you don't need any type of purchasing bots for Amazon. That's just for exclusive stuff that might sell for more on Amazon, but your day-to-day should be all other stuff that's not related to hype.
Yeah, I'm seeing that the focus point really looks like Pops, like Funko Pops and stuff like that. And I'm glad I like the fact that sometimes you come in and you at Kohl's or Ross and you're just trying to find different products, and you're just showing us, hey, it's not just about Funkos. Hey, look, do retail arbitrage. Walk in here and start scanning. You try to find something, So, yeah, that's
an easy win.
Yeah, Pops are easy and everyone likes Pops. So that's why I always come up in conversation.
Gotcha.
But that's, there's people out there who've never even seen a Pop and doing $10 million a year. So.
Yeah, that's a true statement. Yeah, that's yeah.
So we will. I think people just get excited when they think about pops, but pops can be a pain in the ass. So if you can sell, what is it, Wags? Caulking stuff and make more than
Oh,
pops.
the door
Yeah, if
trim.
you can sell a door trim and make more than pops, then I would take that any day.
Cool.
So Goff, Dymo and Rollo formatting. I battled with that for a long time, and then I just got smarter and said, I'm actually going to explore this on Google, and I'm an idiot. So Rollo has an add-on to Chrome. It's free, and it just sits on your Seller Central thing next to print labels, and it says Rollo print, and it just automatically formats them for you, and then you just print them out. So definitely head over to the Rollo website and download the extension. Ryan, you guys already go over. Yeah, we did, but this was all recorded, so you'll be able to go back and watch what Wags was talking about.
Cool.
Cool.
Let's wrap up. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for the questions. It's great. As Twin had mentioned, we are super excited about where you guys are in terms of the process. You guys definitely got up to speed and more advanced a lot more quickly than we had thought, which is fantastic. So keep feeding the beast, keep sourcing, use your tactical arbitrage, hit the stores, Barnes & Nobles are having sales. I mentioned CVS is having 75% off end of clearance sale. A lot of stores are starting to throw a lot of summer stuff on sale to get ready for Q4. So just keep an eye out. And yeah, keep feeding the beast. The more you send into Amazon, the more money you'll make. So, all right. With that, any other questions, post in the chat if you feel like the answer is gonna help everybody else. Otherwise, if you want to keep it private, go ahead and open up a support ticket, and we'll get to that. Yeah. Everyone else have a good night.
Yeah. Enjoy, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good one.